altogether.
Elise Ketchum with the Arizona Wildlife Federation says a proposed EPA rule could leave Arizona's ephemeral streams, which only flow after rain, vulnerable to pollution.
There's that danger of we've lost federal protections for those types of water streams. In Arizona, now we have no federal, no state protections for ephemeral.
Administrator Lee Zeldin says the changes could ease burdens on farmers and landowners, but experts fear weakening protections will further strain one of the nation's driest states. South Dakota LGBTQ plus advocates are sounding alarms over a proposed federal budget cut that could eliminate specialized crisis support through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Rachel Poland with Sioux Falls Pride says the hotline has been vital.
Some of these kids don't have any supportive voices in their life. They are exploring an identity that maybe they came out and were rejected by family or friends in their area.
I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio is owned and operated by the Northeast Washington Community Radio Guild, a licensed 501c3 charitable organization.
KCHW headlines.
As such,
I'm Chuck
we can
Ritchie.
accept donations. And
Filipino dancers and their families were celebrating their heritage in Vancouver, BC Saturday when a man driving a black SUV slammed the gas and barreled through the crowd. 11 people died, ranging in age from 5 years old to 65 years old. Dozens more were hurt. Prosecutors charged a Vancouver man with murder that attack rattled Canada on the eve of today's federal election. Washington drivers will pay higher gas taxes, tenants' rent increases will be limited, and gun buyers will need a permit under the $78 billion budget lawmakers sent to Governor Ferguson last night. Drivers will pay 6 cents more per gallon starting July 1st, followed by 2% more per year. Diesel fuel will be taxed an additional 6 cents in phases. A bill to cap rent hikes at 7% plus inflation, or 10%, whichever is less, is the compromise passed by Democrats yesterday, the final day of the legislative session. The bill also bans rent increases during a tenant's first 12 months in a rental. Environmental legislation that made it through this session includes bills to standardize recycling across the state, tweak the Cap and Invest program, and allow development of fusion energy. In our last story, a 2-week window to apply for up to $1,200 towards buying an e-bike yielded just over 33,000 eligible applications, but the state only has money for about 8,500 rebates, so applicants were put in a lottery and winners were randomly selected. If anyone doesn't respond within 96 hours of being notified, the state will run a new lottery with the people on the wait list. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
It's 7:33.
Programming on KCHW brought to you in part by New Health. New Health is dedicated to providing 5-star health care to communities across Northeast Washington. With locations in Chewelah, Colville, Ione, Loon Lake, Newport, 9 Mile Falls, and Springdale, they offer comprehensive medical, dental, pharmacy, and behavioral health services tailored to meet each patient's needs. Their team is committed to helping individuals and families live their healthiest lives. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can call 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. We are getting some strange sounds down my radio and lots of echo. And we're a little late, but we are here. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ken Owens to the show this morning, returning from last week. Ken.
Wow, you asked me back twice. This is amazing.
7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Hey, I don't know what's playing. Hold on.
Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com.
All right, I think I fixed it.
Wow, fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to KCHW.
Yeah. Thanks for filling in for Val. Val, she's going to get her other eye operated on this week. So
yes, and so it went well. It went well, I hear.
You've already known, huh?
Yeah, they called last night, and she's got a big eye patch on, and she's going today to get it checked. But everything went well.
All right. Good job, Val. We're thinking about you. All right, Ken, I'm going to have you just move that mic in just a hair closer, get you a little louder, like me, because I got a big mouth. And we're going to get started this morning with a look at that weather forecast. Rain's supposed to end this morning if you're seeing some of that in your area, then remaining cloudy with a high near 65 today. That chance of rain this morning is up to 90%. And on the camera up at the golf course, it looks really misty and cloudy. 41 this evening with a few clouds, and they're going to give way to some clearing overnight. We'll leave you with a mostly sunny Wednesday, 70 and 41. Now get this forecast. Oh, Ken, you're going to break out your shorts and a tank top, okay?
Well, not today.
Well,
yeah,
you could dig them out. So Wednesday, 70 and sunny. Thursday, 76 and sunny. Friday, 82 and sunny. Wow, we're going to be swimming.
If I'm breaking out my shorts, you better break out your sunglasses.
I'm going to be swimming, but you're going to be swimming by mid-May this year if these temperatures keep up. Saturday, you're going to go back to cloudy skies and 65, more like normal. Sunday, 70 and partly cloudy, and back to work Monday right now, 76 and partly cloudy, and you will start that work week next week in the mid-70s. Are you a fan of heat, or do you try to avoid it, Ken?
I think there's a mid-range. You enjoy the heat when it first starts, but if it gets above 85, 90, I kind of try to find the shade or a cool spot. Sure. It's that medium temperature is where I'm happy.
I always think it'd be perfect to live, like, maybe not in San Francisco, but in that area of the country close to it where you're in that zone where, average temperature is always 70 to 75. I think that'd be perfect. All right. Moving on, we've got this weather report made possible by a donation from 49 Degrees North Mountain Resort. They still have a snow depth of 22 at the base and 82 up the summit, and I believe they are still on their Friday to Monday schedule. They were going to try to extend the skiing at least into the first week of May. So hopefully they're able to work that out. I'm going to keep rolling this morning, and we'll get to the fun stuff since we got a late start. Kids, for breakfast and lunch today, you've got a bread or a muffin, cheese stick or yogurt, and a fruit or juice. I heard it's kind of like a buffet. The kids get to choose what they want. And then for lunch today on the 29th, corn dogs, baked beans, chips, fruit, and veggies. Few quick events today. We've got the Chewilla Library Story Time. That takes place from 10:30 to 11:30. It's for little kids, but Ken, you can go.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. You could also do this later on in the afternoon. It's time to sit and knit, and that takes place between 2 and 4 at the Chewilla Center for the Arts. Whew. All right, Wednesday. First Wednesdays with Ted at the Chewilla Library. If you're interested in opening a business, there's a great place to get some information. They're at the library between 10 and 3 on Wednesday. Let's see. Thursday, you've got the food bank open. A first Thursday art walk. Going to be great weather for that on the streets of Chewilla. That happens between 5 and 8. Also, there's a recycled art show going on in conjunction with that. So you know the drill. It's all put on by the Trails End Gallery, and you hit the bars and restaurants around the Chewilla area, and you get to see cool art. Friday brings the Chamber of Commerce Eve meeting at 7 a.m. at the casino. And Saturday right now, an evening of wine and poetry between 7 and 9. I'll open that up and tell you where it is. And then don't forget 2 of our DJs Sunday night at Fired Up Pizza. It's Doug and Craig doing the Blues Jam. All right, let's go back. And that evening of wine and poetry is at the Chewilla Arts. It's the Chewilla Arts Guild presenting it. And it is at the Chewilla Center for the Arts, okay? I know it gets kind of confusing. So it's the Arts Guild at the Chewilla Center for the Arts because, of course, they got the cool space. $15 includes refreshments and your first glass of wine. Additional wine, $5 per glass. Books by local poets will be available as well. Tickets available at the door at ChewillaArtsGuild.org. Wow, Ken, I'm running out of breath.
Well, you were saying about, I think Chewilla would be a great place to start a business. The town is such a great town. They're so welcoming. I think I would, if I was starting a business, that would be a place I would definitely migrate to.
All right. Good endorsement there. And growing up in Chewilla and having, lived there and moved away and came back, I see a lot of businesses staying whereas years ago, especially, it was tough for restaurants, where a restaurant would open and within a year or two, it may close. We've seen a lot of businesses really thriving in our downtown, and it's got that homey feel. So if it's something you're thinking of, starting something in Stevens County, even the Tri-County area, because it's Ted doing those classes, once again, that will be Wednesday at 10 a.m. All right, a couple news headlines for me and Ken to get to the fun stuff. Trump has kept several campaign promises, including enacting major tariffs, but hasn't yet been able to end the war in Ukraine. Yesterday, he signed 2 new executive orders on immigration. Scary to find out what those are because we are scooping up people off the streets. Recent polls show that Trump's approval rating around the 100-day mark is a little bit higher than his first term, but it's fallen compared with recent months, in part due to his handling of the economy and the federal workforce. Let's see, 3 new polls showed the lowest rating for a president, they said, in 80 years at the 100-day mark. He said...
That's what I heard.
He said...
That's what I heard.
He said the polls were fake. Of course he did. All right, Cleveland Cavaliers hammered the Miami Heat last night, 55-point blowout, winning the most lopsided series in NBA playoff history. Later, the Golden State Warriors grabbed a 3-1 series lead against the Houston Rockets. All right, let's see if we got any other sports going on the court. NBA playoffs continue with 4 matchups. The Pacers, who are 1 game away from the next round, take on the Bucks at 6 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV. On the ice, the NHL playoffs also continue with 4 matchups. Maple Leafs have a chance to clinch the series when they face off against the Senators at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And on the field, after the Mets outfielder Brandon Nemo's record-tying 9 RBIs yesterday, his team takes on the Diamondbacks at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on Major League Baseball Extra Innings. That's a totally different... Yeah.
app. All right, on TV, Trump sits down to discuss the first 100 days of his second term at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. I know Ken's going to tune into that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on. It's that sheet I sent you, Ken. We call it bits and breaks. And if you are ready, that first one is the first joke this morning will be all yours after this sound effect. All right.
So would that be the jock line?
Yeah, that's your first one. That's your first one.
Well, I've decided to join the radio station bowling team. The last time I filled in, I rented a pair of shoes, and my feet never smelled better.
Those are my shoes.
Definitely your shoes, not mine.
All right. Second joke. New poll reveals that 3 out of 4 Americans make up 75% of the population. I love stats. Can you beat that one, Ken?
Well, I can. A guy goes to a psychiatrist. The shrink asked him what the problem is. The guy says, "I don't know. I can't seem to keep any friends. You fat, stupid jerk."
I see why. All right. I think I had a little too much caffeine this morning, Ken. I just got a call from a seismic lab saying my hands are registering a 4 on the Richter scale.
It's about a 4 or 5. You're right.
All right. Here comes Ken with 5 things. 5 things you didn't know yesterday.
Well, the Vatican City has the smallest population of any country, with about 800 residents.
Wow.
Roxomaniac, and I think that's said right, is someone who grinds his teeth.
Ooh, you ever know anybody does that?
I know a few people that used to do it in their sleep.
Yeah,
right?
that's
so
a big
then
thing.
they'd have to wear a guard. Yeah. According to the U.S. Census Bureau data from 2024, the medium age for the first marriage of men was about 30.2 years.
How about the last one?
Well, when it was most popular, Twitter had 7,500 employees.
Okay. I meant, how about the last marriage? What age would it be?
I'm on my first marriage, and it's been 28 years.
Congratulations, Ken. Good job. All right, is she listening to you this morning?
No, she is not.
She hears enough of you? Is that what you're saying?
She probably does, yes.
All right.
And the last one, in 90% of relationships, each person overestimates the percentage of the work they are doing. Well, I guess if they complained about it enough, that would lead to their next marriage.
Yes. 90% of relationships, each person overestimates the percent of work they're doing. Well, I did 90% of the work.
So true.
Okay, maybe not. All right. What weird thing? This is kind of like a discussion. I want to know if Ken's got any. What weird things are you afraid of? Me personally, razor blades. I have a thing.
Yeah.
I have a thing about razor blades. If I have to if you're going to use your scraping tool and you got to load up a new blade in it, I'm always like super, super careful.
This is kind of weird. I hate the feel of newspaper. I just, for some reason, it just, I don't know, the feel or whatever. There's times, I don't know. Packing material and all is fine, cardboard boxes, but sometimes the feel of newspaper, I don't know what it is.
Kind of like a chalkboard, scratching another chalkboard.
I've been told I sound like someone scratching their fingernails on a chalkboard. Yes.
I think my fear of razor blades came from, as a kid, I remember my parents were like playing pinochle with friends, and I came walking by and I had a razor blade in my hand. Mom said, "Be careful, it's sharp." And I said, "No, it's not," and cut my finger open. And that's what kids do.
So I'm just wondering, your parents let you play with razor
I
blades?
get. It wasn't put that down. I'm like 8, it wasn't like put that away. It's sharp. She just said, "Be careful, you can cut yourself." And that's when I sliced. I said, "No, it's not," and pretended to slice my finger open, but actually did it.
Well, at least she didn't say, "Hey, now put that razor blade down and go out and play in the street."
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
All right. Nothing else you're afraid of. Spiders. All right. Post what you're afraid of on Facebook, and we will make fun of you. Promise. Nothing?
Oh, well, I don't like ants. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't like ants. It's I can crush all the spiders, and I love spraying things, and bees don't seem to bother me unless they sting you. But I don't know, ants are just creepy. You see one ant and it's like, there's like 1,000 on the side going, okay, is he looking? We're coming in. I don't know. I don't like ants.
All right, no ants. Moving on, this is the Great Time Saving Survey. Real simple, wanted to know, that's a website. If we as people could create time-saving inventions and what they would be. So there's a list here to get us started. Ken, would you roll down that list of time-saving ideas, new inventions?
Well, I think this is great.
Okay.
A clothes folding machine.
Not so much clothes, but I definitely like sheets and big stuff that you could just put them in there and it all came out neatly packaged.
Well, they now they're advertising where you get the washer and dryer in one. You just throw them in, it washes them, and then dries them.
I like that.
I think they should next invention. They should just come out all folded and stacked next to the machine.
We could probably buy a robot for that. All right.
Coming soon.
Yeah. What do you got next?
Well, you can appear offline on Facebook. I'd like to be able to appear offline in my life so I can do what I need to do without interruption.
Ooh, I like that. All right. This person says, a drain in the middle of my house so I could just hose down the whole thing.
I think that would come in handy if you've got pets and all, and pet hair and other grime coming in. Then you just have to have an automatic sprinkler system like on your lawn where the heads pop up, wash everything, and it drains down probably while you're sleeping.
I think you have a house made of cement maybe, but okay. A vacuum that picks up large items like pets. Cat's in your way, just and then move it.
Yeah, and people at your front door you really don't like, and neighbors that seem to come over at the most inopportune time.
I think all vacuums, it should be illegal to make a vacuum that doesn't have the reverse exhaust. They're hard to find anymore.
Yeah, you mean, well, the shop vacs have
shop vacs do, but like your filter queens and your rainbows and those canister type vacuums, they used to always have the exhaust, and it came in handy.
Yeah, you're right. They don't make those anymore.
Hard to find. And the last one was a TikTok alarm that goes off when you've been on the site for way too long. Well, you could probably use that for any social media. Do you have any inventions? I know you are kind of like a creator like me when it comes to wires and electronics. Do you have any inventions that you've come up with yourself?
I don't throw away anything. Nuts and bolts, I've got buckets of little fittings and all sorts of stuff. And, if something goes out here in the house, I'll come up with another way to make it work. A hot glue gun and can really save the day. So I think I've fixed. I've always said that if women can't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And I always say, thank God I'm really handy.
Huh. I was going to say maybe I'm neither.
Well, there you go. I thought I'd throw that one at you.
I'm neither handsome nor handy. All right. I came up with, it's not really, I didn't invent anything new. I combined things. So one of the stuff, me and my daughter have the little Airbnb units in the backyard and a little glamping setup. And one of the things that's always bothered me is we started small, so we don't have a shower house or a bathhouse, so we've had an outhouse. We're much like a state park campground in that size. You got the plastic event style outhouse. And I know people hate it, and some people won't stay because of an outhouse. I know even guys that won't use a plastic outhouse. So I wanted to get away from that, but we couldn't afford to do a whole bathhouse. So I was like researching everything online, and those composting toilets, they're a nightmare. And how do you train somebody that's just visiting short term for a night or two to use the composting toilet? And then who wants to get in there and deal with cleaning it out or cleaning it up? So I was racking my brain, and I came up with they use them on ships. People put them in their basements, macerating toilets. So
yes.
So I installed a pumpable toilet, and then a pumpable tank, so I can have the septic service come by and pump it, and then a macerating toilet. But I put it so I don't know if you've seen the picture of my outhouse, but it's the Doctor Who TARDIS. It's the Doctor Who TARDIS. Really and now when you open the door of the TARDIS, instead of having that typical tank in there that you can smell and see in the flies, you have a beautiful brand new flush macerating toilet. So it looks kind of funny when you open the door, but I think people will enjoy that. And that was one of those, that's where I get my good ideas is twilight sleep.
I saw the picture and I thought, wow, that's ingenious. You did a nice job. Then I thought, because you didn't say anything, who pumps that out? Is that Scott? Does he go out there and hook like a garden hose up somewhere? The
siphoning, it's the gross part to get it going.
Yeah, your lawn is so nice and green.
We just put it all right back out there. I'm having some technical problems here. All right, our sound effects don't want to play today. Let's see, moving along this morning. Monday was Superhero Day, Ken. I want to know who your favorite superhero is.
Oh, to stay married for 28 years? Oh, my wife.
Really? Oh.
Well, she's been going through a few medical issues, and she lost the ability to walk there for almost a year. So she is back walking again, and she's really put a lot of effort into it. So watch her go through her struggles, but always keep a smile on her face. She's my superhero now.
That's so sweet. All right, another round of applause, and we'll applause for her too. All right. I don't know if I have a favorite superhero. That's really tough. I'd want if I could be one, I'd want all the powers combined.
Well, I think when we were younger, the older generation, you really only had you had Superman. He was everywhere. And, then you had Spider-Man. So when you were a young kid, you didn't have the whole plethora of superheroes to pick from like we do today. Yeah. Now, with Marvel and all the other franchises that have done a great job with all these different superheroes, you can't pick. How do you pick just one? They've got such a list to choose from.
I would say probably, for me, it would be Batman just because he's an average guy.
Batman. Yeah. And he had the cool cave.
Everybody wants a cool cave, right? Like a real man cave. All right. Let's see. Next on our list today, we got life's little pleasures. Adults were asked, what is your favorite little pleasure in life? People listed, I'll do a first few. You could do a couple, Ken. Peace and quiet, going for a walk, getting out in fresh air. Always changes your attitude. Stroll on the beach, the sound of birds, unless it's crows. And fresh bed sheets. What else did they list, Ken?
Well, okay, we had going for a walk and going out in fresh air and a stroll on the beach, the sound of birds, fresh bed sheets, a clear and starry night.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, hugs from children or grandchildren, seeing friends, and then laughing so much your belly aches, and sleeping in. Oh, sleeping in is really something I've lost. I don't know why, but sleeping in now is just great. The sounds of rain, which right now, if I had the door open, you could hear it because it is raining. And then the listening to a favorite song is pretty good. And a hot cup of coffee in the morning. I don't think I could start the day without a couple of hot cups of coffee. So, yes.
I like to start it with a cup of hot coffee in the morning and end it with a cup of hot chocolate at night. I don't know what it is. Huh? It always makes me ready to sleep.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We're going to do the skip the next one, Ken, just so you don't get confused, and go down to the snacks that are most likely to be stolen. Now, 4 in 10 Americans admit to being food thieves. Their targets, friends, coworkers, even their partners. That's right, stealing food from your spouse. At work, 4 in 10 of us have stolen food from us, and over half of those say the food is stolen, so they had to confront someone about it. Here's what's being stolen from work from us this week. Ken, will you go down the list?
I sure will. Well, chips, 31%, fruit, 28%, candy, 27%, juice, 26%, milk, 23%, bread, 22%, ice cream, 20%, lunch meat, 19%, and nuts, 17%.
What do you think the most likely to get you punched in the nose would be out of that list?
Well, I mean, if this was at work and all, I can't see someone bringing ice cream, but I think your lunch meat, candy. Well, if someone stole coffee, I think before they had their first cup, that would be someone I wouldn't want to mess with. So, yeah, it's bread is probably a big one on there because a lot of people bring sandwiches and stuff to work. So if you stole someone's sandwich, you stole their lunch. So. Yeah, I don't know. Any one of these could get you in a lot of trouble.
I'm going to lean to like the worst offense would be like the milk and the ice cream because ice cream is a delicious treat. And that milk you might have got that to put in your tomato soup. You might have brought it to put in your tomato soup or something else you were eating, so it could ruin your lunch. So now at home, our kids and partners are stealing food. So we've had to hide snacks and candy. The list of places they hide them, behind the cleaning supplies. I like this one. They hide their snacks from the kids in the washing machine. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that would be great. But, that would be something you would forget. Or, someone would say, hey, I just ran that load of laundry for you. And you're like,
no. All right. Here's a bad idea. In a hole in the snow.
Well, yeah, I guess that'd be a good place to keep your beer. I'm not sure how well cardboard box, if it was in a box, would hold up. But yeah, that's a great one.
Somebody said in the oven, but I think that's kind of like in the wash machine. You're risking losing it. In your underwear drawer, no, because that's the first place people go.
I think it's really bad if you have to stash food in your underwear drawer.
That's right.
Just saying.
In the toilet tank.
Yeah. Hold on just a minute. I've got some apples and oranges. I'm going to make some snacks for everyone. I've at them. They're in the bathroom.
What are those? Those are my toilet tank Oreos.
Well, at least you didn't say Baby Ruth bars.
Yeah. These cookies are soggy. Yeah, I keep them in my toilet tank. All right. Let's see. In the sofa. Well, the great thing about that is if you take off a cushion, you might find lots of snacks in the sofa.
I was going to say, if you look in our house, you could probably find all the snacks that we've had in the sofa somewhere. Sure.
Another place they say they hide them. This could be a good spot in your feminine products box. That's a good idea.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Or in a vase, as long as it's like not see-through.
Yeah, that's okay, sure, in a vase.
All right. I like this one, Ken. This next one, we'll go back and forth on it. We'll just go next to next. It's called Phrases We Need to Stop Using. And the very first one on here, I'm going to go ahead and do that because it really hits me hard. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And there's one real close to that. It is what it is. And on the dating sites, one of the prompts that you see on a lot of them is what's a phrase you often use? And I constantly see that. It is what it is, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I'm just saying, if you use one of those, I automatically swipe left.
My wife uses that all the time. I'll go, now why did that happen? And she goes, well, it was meant to be. Everything is meant to be. So it happened for a reason. And God, sometimes she's spot on. Something will happen down the line, and I'll be like, well, I'm glad that happened to me because I guess it was meant to be.
Okay, well, that's a little better than it is what it is. That one's just that I don't know. I find it highly irritating. All right, what's the next one on the list?
Well, I mean, why call attention to the fact that you are saying what you mean? Do you not normally say what you mean?
So if you're saying,
Well,
I mean, okay. All right.
I mean, yeah.
All right. The phrase, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The phrase to be frank or to be honest, it's kind of the same thing as opposed to the rest of things you say, which are evasive. To be honest this time.
Well, honestly, so what are you saying is typically I'm lying, but in this case, I'm being honest.
These sound like presidential ones.
Yeah, so what are you saying is? So what I'm saying is...
the phrase just saying what? Why do you feel the need to alert people that you are indeed speaking? Just saying is often followed by a rude statement in a feeble attempt to soften the blow.
Well, I think people use that when they're just going, hey, I'm just saying, to maybe hammer their point home a little bit more, or to make it round it out and justify it a little more. I'm just saying.
I'm saying those bowling shoes you talked about this morning do not make your feet smell better.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's like saying your shoes really stink, but yeah, I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay, at the end of the day, formerly known as when it's all said and done.
I like the second one better.
Formerly, when it's all said and done?
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, yes.
Here comes an oxymoron that people say all the time. Same difference. So is it the same or different? Are there differences between the two things that you're comparing the same?
Yeah, it's the same difference.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it's different, how can it be the same?
But it's different like the other one was different, so it's the same difference.
Yes, it's the same. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something along the lines of, can I ask you something? This phrase is completely needless.
Sentence enhancer.
Let me tell you something.
Sentence enhancer. All right. I apologize if I make you feel that way. Translation, I refuse to take responsibility for my actions.
Yes, well, that could be misconstrued. It's easy to sometimes make people's feelings bad, and just, hey, I just apologize if it made you feel bad. I feel better that I said it, but I'm sorry it made you feel bad. Anyway.
All right. Let's see. Give 110%. It's impossible. Don't even try. Okay, bad advice.
Okay, well, yeah, no. So you mean no? You mean no? Just say no.
No, I'm going to stick with no because I think it adds some extra meaning behind it.
Yeah, you can be kind of sarcastic too. Like if they're like, hey, what do you think? I had this great idea. And you go, yeah, no.
It's a failure then. They're not pulling back any punches.
Yeah. Hey, great idea. We asked everyone for your idea. Thank you for giving yours, but yeah, no. Yeah.
All right, Ken, for the next part of the show, you are not going to have to do anything but sit there and think.
That's a tough one.
I knew it.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
It's Ken.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, you heard that. Immediately. No goofing off.
Oh.
All right. I have faith in you for today's trivia. Your first trivia question this morning, Ken, is 13 countries have this in common. No more, no less. Just 13. Some of the countries include Ecuador, Brazil, Uganda, and Kenya. What do they have in common?
Coffee?
Well, true, but not what I'm looking for.
I hate this segment of the show. I'm just saying.
You're just saying? It's geographical. They share the same geographical trait. I thought you would nail this one because I know how smart you are.
I should have paid more attention in school. They're not on the equator.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
Yeah. See, don't doubt. That's the worst thing you can do in trivia is doubt yourself. You just blurt that question out with confidence, even if you know it's wrong.
Well, I managed to get 2 right last week, so right now I'm heading up on the curve.
All right. So this is horrible. I don't want to go in the lottery. 90% of all large jackpot lottery winners have this. I'm going to say 90% of all large jackpot lottery winners go through this. 90% of them. And it has nothing to do with squandering their money. This will happen to them. 90% of all jackpot lottery winners will have this happen to them.
Their family asks them to borrow money. Their
Has
friends
nothing to do with money. It's a tough one.
Of lottery winners have this happen to them. Okay, it has nothing to do with they hide. They change their names. You
give up?
Sure. What is it?
They get fat. 90% of large lottery winners get fat.
Well, I guess they can buy larger toilets to hide all their snacks in.
Is that why people looking at me and ask me if I'm rich?
Wait, you're not rich?
No.
Oh, no.
Ouch. All right, let's try this one. This is what we call history mystery, Ken. I'm going to give you 3 dates that you were alive for, and then you guess what
I was
year.
alive for these.
Yes,
okay.
And you guess what year it was. And okay, ready? Despite charges of sexual harassment brought by Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas was confirmed as the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Number 2, Elizabeth Taylor married construction worker Larry Fortensky. It was her 8th time down the aisle. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, opened in theaters. All right. And the last one on this list, the Soviet Union collapsed. What was the year for this history mystery?
Okay, so all 4 of these have the same date.
The same date. Anita Hill brought sexual harassment charges against Clarence Thomas. Elizabeth Taylor married a construction worker. Terminator 2 was in the theaters, and the Soviet Union collapsed. What year was it?
Well, as far as 3 of them I can remember, but 1982.
Oh, you're off by a decade, buddy.
72.
91. 91.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought the Elizabeth Taylor one would have thrown me off there. I knew it was the 90s because of Terminator 2.
That was the one that threw me off. But the Terminator movie, that's what I was basing all this on. And I'm trying to go back thinking, but remember, that was, I burned a lot of brain cells back then.
All right, next one. Let me get there. In December 1999, Bill Clinton became the first U.S. president to do this online. Be good.
Ask for donations?
Oh, no. Shop for Christmas. Shop for Christmas. First president.
He was the first president to shop for Christmas online?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Trick question. Cool. In what year did Christmas and New Year's fall in the same year?
Every year.
There you go. United States Patent and Trademark Office has more than 3,000 active patents on items related. Oh, what can I give you for a hint? Related to what? And it has to do with weather. So there are 3,000 active patents related to this thing for weather.
Well, it couldn't be controlling the weather.
Nope.
Predicting the weather. Weather. It could be weather vanes, whether or not, whether I get this. I don't know. Will I weather out the storm?
No.
You're going to have to give it to me.
All right. 3,000 active patents for umbrellas.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I guess that has to do with the weather.
They all work the same.
Yeah.
When was the latest umbrella innovation?
I don't know. Someone had one. I saw one the other day that they had a new idea for an umbrella, and I can't remember what it was. And I thought, well, that's actually a good idea. Why didn't someone come up with that before? So I can't remember what it was, so it couldn't have been that memorable.
Lights.
Okay.
All right. These are going to get easier. We're going to do which came first. I'm going to give you two items. You tell me which one was first. All right. The first subway system or the first bicycle? Which was first?
The first what now? What was the first one?
First subway system or the first bicycle? Which was first?
Subway system.
Oh, well,
bicycle.
Subway system was 1863. The first bicycle, 1861. So bicycle beat it by a couple years. All right. The McMuffin or the Eggo waffle?
Eggo waffle.
Definitely 1960s. McMuffin 1972. A GPS watch or a calculator watch?
Calculator watch.
Yeah, you had one of those, didn't you? Science nerd. All right. Applebee's or Olive Garden?
Applebee's.
Applebee's 1980, Olive Garden 1982. Good job. And we'll end it right here with Spy the Lie. I give you three things, and you tell me which one I made up. All right? The burrito, a dish served at every Mexican restaurant, was invented in the United States. Placing a rose under your pillow at night will help you sleep more soundly. And only one NFL player has won the Super Bowl MVP trophy while playing for the team that lost. Which one's the lie?
Well, you'd have to think I'm going with the rose under the pillow.
Well, that was an easy one, and you were exactly right. So the burrito was invented by America, and the only player that won the Super Bowl MVP trophy while not playing for that team was Chuck Howley. His team, the Dallas Cowboys, lost to the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl V, but he still won the MVP trophy. Good job.
You know, I heard somewhere that Chipotle is opening a Mexican restaurant, or they're having a franchise in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. They announced it. So Jimmy Kimmel or one of them had to, of course, have a couple of lines to go with that. But yes, Chipotle is opening up their first franchise in Mexico here soon.
Wow. All right, Ken, we are going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to have local birthdays, celebrity birthdays. We'll go over today in history, and we always wrap things up with the odd news. And today's odd news, 7 stories. Big odd news day. Stick around right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7, and we're right back.
Coffee's brewing. Birds are singing. Northern Lights Radio to get your morning ringing. Stay right here because we'll be right back. New sponsors, and then we're back to Yak. Stay right here because we'll be right back. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
It's 8:18.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:19.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
And by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more
say they're committed to that and are working on a 17th package of sanctions against Russia. William Denslow, Brussels.
Despite ongoing tensions between India and Pakistan, the land border between the two South Asian nations has been reopened for 2 days. New Delhi and Islamabad have announced a slew of tit-for-tat measures. India blames Pakistan for the recent terror attack in Indian-administered Kashmir, a charge Islamabad denies. The disputed Kashmir region is partially governed by both nations, but claimed in full by both. Hira Mustafa has more.
For 2 days, officials have temporarily reopened the Wagah-Atadi land border. They say this is to allow for individuals holding long-term visas to return to their respective countries. These visas are primarily issued by the Pakistani government to Indian women who are married to Pakistani nationals and reside permanently in Pakistan without holding citizenship. Likewise, India grants long-term visas to Pakistani citizens who live in India or are married to Indian nationals. Since Monday, 129 Pakistani citizens have entered India under this arrangement. Despite the temporary reopening, the land border remains officially closed and all trade activities between the two countries are still suspended due to ongoing diplomatic tensions. Hira Mustafa, Islamabad.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, what to make of President Trump's weekend threats to impose new sanctions on Russia if President Putin continues authorizing airstrikes on Ukraine. They came after the US leader's 15-minute face-to-face meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in St. Peter's Basilica just ahead of the Pope's funeral. Once that talk, captured in a series of iconic photographs, ended, the American leader suddenly expressed frustration with Putin. But former NATO spokesman Mark Laity says that may also change.
He could flip 180 degrees tomorrow. Putin thinks he's winning, and he only wants to end the war on his own terms. And I think Donald Trump must be about the only person in the world who's only just thinking that Putin is playing him like a violin. Trump likes dictators, he likes strong men, and he loves flattery, and Putin has ladled that onto him. So he's being had, and the result is that the current negotiations are incredibly one-sided, and that has made the ending of the war far less likely.
On Monday, Vladimir Putin declared a 3-day ceasefire in May, due to coincide with the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Defenders of Moscow say it's a good faith effort to advance peace talks. Critics say the Russian leader is simply trying to blunt criticism from President Trump. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Spain's Prime Minister says all possible causes of a nationwide blackout on Monday are being investigated, though the national grid operator has ruled out a cyber attack. Ukraine says Russia's planned 3-day ceasefire to mark the end of World War II is an attempt at manipulation, that it should be a month-long ceasefire and implemented now. And the land border between Pakistan and India has been reopened for 2 days, but other tit-for-tat measures remain in place after last week's terror attack. That's the latest feature story news. Stuart Smith reporting.
Morning sun peeking through the sky. It's time to wake up and just say hi. Coffee's brewing, birds are singing. Northern Lights Radio to get your morning ringing. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. Your KCHW FM morning crew starts now. Yahoo!
And just that fast, we're back. Thanks for being here. It's KCHW 102.7. It's a Tuesday. My sister Val is out sick, but the one and only Ken Owens, you met Ken last week. We had him as a guest on the show just to warm him up, and here he is. Thank you for being here again, filling in for Val.
Hey, well, good morning, and everyone for listening to KCHW. You know, during the break, I was thinking, I want to be 3001. I have a new patent I want to put in for an umbrella.
Okay, and what's this umbrella going to do?
Well, you know, you're always out in the dark in umbrellas when you're using an umbrella. It's usually not well lit. I think they should be lighted. That all the tips of the little metal things should have LED lights so that you can be spotted when you're in a dark area, so someone doesn't run you over. And then I think they should have Wi-Fi capabilities so you can not only get the weather report, but it can show you the quickest way out of the rain.
All right. Or maybe like a drop-down visor that does night vision.
That would be excellent.
Okay,
Yes, that
okay.
it's actually clear and it's night vision, so you can see. There you go.
All right. So now we have 3002 patents for an umbrella. That really just does one thing. All right, we always start off this segment with birthdays, and that's our local birthdays. I'm going to back up to Monday because we don't do a show on Mondays. And on Monday, we missed birthdays for Tara Dollar, Cadence Nolan, Xander Randall, and we had an anniversary for Greg and Kira Ralstead. Then birthdays for today, Tyson Shulock, Avery Thomason, and Phil Lopez all having birthdays, and a round of applause for them. And I apologize because last Tuesday I did those same birthdays and I was wrong. All right. So last Tuesday it was Donna LaRue, Rowan Hadlock, and Sally Bean. Sally, I'm so sorry I missed your birthday last Tuesday. Please forgive me. No, stop. All right. All right, Ken, if you're ready with that cheat sheet off the web I sent you, we have some celebrity birthdays for you to roll down. I like the first one.
Uh-oh, I am going to have to celebrity birthdays.
Right at the top, it says date book, and we have Willie Nelson. I'll start it off while you find it. Willie Nelson turning 92 today. He's a national treasure. The male version of Betty White. All right.
I don't see date book anywhere there, Scott.
Hey, buddy, it's that website I sent you that you had to log into. It's at the very top.
Yeah. Number of the day, news attacks, news and nuggets, fun and games.
Yeah, right below that, very first line says date book, April 29th.
Oh, I got you right here.
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry, but the print is so big I missed it.
Okay.
Well, you already had...
That is a problem, big print.
Well, you know, so we had Willie Nelson, you know, he's 92.
Okay.
And Jerry Seinfeld is 71. I love Jerry Seinfeld. Kate Mulgrew, is that Mulgrew?
Mulgrew.
Orange
Mulgrew,
is,
yeah.
Orange is the new black Star Trek Voyager. 70 years old. Daniel Day-Lewis, Lincoln, Will Be Blood is 68. Michelle Pfeiffer, the fabulous Baker Boys, Janet Van Dyne in the Ant-Man movies. Oh, yeah, Ant-Man was good. 67. Eve Plum, The Brady Bunch is 67. Uma Thurman, Kill Bill movies, she is 55. Catherine Langford, Cursed Meg Tomley in Knives Out is 29.
All right, there you go. Celebrity birthdays. We'll skip on to history. Sometimes we call it Happened Today, and we'll start off in 1913. It happened today. Gideon Soundbach of Hoboken, New Jersey, received a patent for the zipper. All right. 1967, after refusing induction in the United States Army the day before, citing religious reasons, Muhammad Ali was stripped of his boxing title. That was turned around.
Yeah, that was wrong, yeah.
88, Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson were married in Florida. They divorced in 1993. 1990, surgeon in Jacksonville, Florida, removed a benign tumor from the abdomen of a 47-year-old woman who went into the emergency room fearing she was having a heart attack. The tumor weighed 65 pounds. To many people surprised, they named it Scott. I'm not a tumor. All right.
That's a tumor.
1990, Wrecking Crane began tearing down the Berlin Wall at the historic Brandenburg Gate. The wall had divided East and West Berlin since 1961. On to 2004. This is a sad day for me. Oldsmobile built its final car, ending 107 years of production of making cars for the elderly.
Hey, my dad owned several Oldsmobiles.
Exactly.
I thought they were great cars. They were built well.
And kind of ugly. They're kind of ugly. They're kind of ugly. That's why they failed. It's like the American Motors Corporation. The Gremlin, come on. The Matador, come on. And it's the same kind of thing. Oldsmobile had ugly cars, period. The Cutlass, okay, I'll give them the Cutlass. But other than that, they made ugly cars.
My dad had a Cutlass that I wish I had today. It was very nice, well appointed, well built. Yes, the Cutlass was good.
I had a 79, which wasn't the old muscle body, style, but I had a 79. I called it the Wiener Dog car because that's kind of the way they were like a Monte Carlo, but talk about a sweet ride. So I won't deny they were great cars. I'm just saying they were homely. They were geared toward old people, and that's why they failed. That's my opinion.
Well, you can't really compare them to a Gremlin, but yes, okay.
Yeah, I can. See, I did a fake commercial once and kind of got in trouble at a radio station, and it was the American Motors Corporation, and I did the Gremlin and the Matador, and they had several other cars that weren't very attractive, and the tagline was, "Ugly cars for ugly people." Didn't go over well, but I made money. All right, I'll quit picking on Oldsmobile. 2014, cast was announced for the next film in the Star Wars series, due out in late 2015. We're ready for a new one now.
Isn't there a new series on
I said movie.
Star Wars based on?
I want a movie, no series. All right, no, they are. They do have a new one coming out, though. All right, 2015 Baltimore Orioles beat the Chicago White Sox 8-2 in a game that was attended by no one. Fans were told to stay home as the city of Baltimore tried to keep everyone safe in the wake of ongoing race-related looting, fights, and fires. So they actually had a baseball game with no one in attendance. And we'll wrap it up here. 2020, a mile-wide asteroid named 1998 OR2 passed within 3.9 million miles of Earth. They say that's close. I don't know. All right.
Well, yeah, it's. I wouldn't make it there in my lifetime, but sure, I guess it's close.
All right, Ken is going to rattle off a long list of special events for today. It's huge. Sometimes we call them goofy holidays. Ken, will you give us those special events?
Yes, and I'll try to use less verbiage this time. Well, this is Children's Book Week.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, Construction Safety Week. Hurricane Preparedness Week. We've also got Small Business Week And then your PTA Teacher Appreciation Week. Very good, very good. And Teacher Appreciation Week. Those kind of go hand in hand. Remembrance of all the victims of chemical warfare. International Dance Day. World Wish Day. Viral Video Day. Go Birding Day. Yeah, Go Birding Day. Shrimp Scampi Day. Oh, there's something I can stick my teeth into. Oh, and getting back to it, Zipper Day. So wasn't the zipper invented something? Yeah, anyway.
All right.
Go on.
Number of the day is 95 million. It is the estimated number of Father's Day cards given each year in the United States. Father's Day, the fourth largest card sending occasion. Father's Day created in what city, Ken Owens?
Father's Day, fourth.
It's really close. You're almost on top of it.
Wait, you mean here in Spokane, Washington?
Spokane, Washington. That's right. Father's Day came invented in Spokane, Washington. Whoop, whoop. All right, we're going to wrap up the show the only way we know how. We call it Odd News, and we always kick it off with the news attack.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your Odd News on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, time for your Odd News. We always kick it off with the news attack where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is a horrible joke. Ken, are you with me? Are you with me?
I'm still here, Scott.
All right, did you find the news attack? Because I would like you to start.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Good.
I'm glad that you asked. The process of selecting the new pope will begin May 7th. It's like The Bachelor, Vatican edition, but with more incense and fewer fantasy suites. The process of selecting the new pope will begin May 7th. The ultimate reality show, Survival Conclave, Outwit, Outlast, Outpray.
Wow. All right. Hey, the president thinks all the polls about his job performance are wrong. He's now demanding to speak to the manager of mathematics. All right. Ken?
Yeah, well, a third of pet-owning married women say that their pets are better listeners than their husbands. Maybe, ladies, it's because you never give your husband a Kong full of frozen peanut butter.
That's right.
Oh, yes, the Kong, frozen peanut. Okay.
All right. May is days away. It's National Barbecue Month and National Clean Air Month. Somebody should make up their mind.
Well, an Australian cemetery is burying bodies vertically rather than horizontally. To me, it just doesn't seem dignified to have a casket pasted with arrows and signs that say "this side up." Save a lot of space, though.
Yeah. You get a lot more bodies in there. All right, Kentucky Derby is Saturday. Where else could 2 minutes of action cause so much excitement and hoopla? I mean, besides a married couple after a couple years.
2 minutes. That's a pretty good
All right, now we move on to the segment we like to call Wacky But True. These stories are delivered in their totality, and they don't include any lies, but they do get clips from television and movies afterwards. We call it Wacky But True, and Ken has our first Wacky But True story.
Is this news and nuggets?
No, this is Wacky But True, one below it. It's okay. He's new. It's okay. Just give me a sec.
Wacky but true.
There you go.
You
know
it's
this.
Right there.
You know this.
You know, I'm surprised Scott puts up with me. Okay, wacky but true. Climber rescued twice from Mount Fuji after returning for a lost phone.
Wow.
A Chinese college student living in Japan had to be rescued from Mount Fuji twice in 1 week after first losing his crampons during the ascent outside the official climbing season. The developing altitude sickness while attempting to recover his lost phone and backpack. Both instances required helicopter rescues first from 12,000 feet and then from 9,842 feet.
So he got altitude sickness and had to be rescued, but left his phone in his backpack. So went back for him and got altitude sickness again.
I guess, well, I guess with all the import charges, those phones are getting expensive. I guess it's worth going up the mountain twice.
The next morning, he set out to climb Miserable Mountain.
They're talking about mountain climbing. Mountain climbers chain each other. So if one falls, they all fall.
We've got to keep moving. He's frozen. Maybe we can fix him on the way.
No, just leave him.
You make a good point. Jonathan has climbed the mountain twice before.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him.
What's so funny? I just thinking of the last time we climbed. You had to haul my down off that mountain.
Wait, I speak Frozen.
Oh, he speaks Frozen. It's okay.
I'll be back.
All right, next story. Woman hospitalized after exercising too hard. This has never happened to me.
No?
Yeah. 31-year-old woman in China suffered kidney failure after squatting 700 times while exercising. Wow, 700 squats?
700 times. Yeah, I'd probably get 12 or 15 in and I'd still be on the floor. Oh, yeah, okay. 700.
All right, here comes everything you need to know about squatting.
Look, this girl here ain't feeling well. Doctor says she should go out and exercise once in a while, and ice skating's probably the best thing, you know what I mean?
And the squatters?
I'm going to call you Half Squat.
Half Squat.
I hereby exercise my right to challenge. I challenge.
No! Squat! Squat!
She's dead, Jeff.
What? All right, sorry. Did you hear McCoy in there at the end? All right.
Wacky but true. All right, wacky but true. A man who broke into a home naked using tree branch arrested. A naked man who broke into a Florida St. Johns County home with a tree branch was arrested while the residents hid in another room and called 911. The 44-year-old man was taken into custody, and investigators later discovered he lived nearby. When deputies entered the man's home, they found evidence of a large marijuana grow and executed a search warrant. The search uncovered 3 guns, $85,000 in cash, 22 pounds of psychedelic mushrooms, 12 marijuana plants, 3 pounds of marijuana, over 5 pounds of marijuana edibles, 17 grams of ketamine, and drug paraphernalia consistent with cultivation and sales.
Wow. That's quite the list.
He was all naked and raring to go.
Naked!
Wait a minute! You're naked under there? First my neighbor dies before I paid him back that 20, now this.
I never want to see a naked man again.
How can you make a TV set out of marijuana?
Marty, we have to find somebody truly worthy to give his money to. How about the National Association of Legalized Marijuana? Perfect.
You got any narcotics or marijuana in here?
Not anymore.
Nope. All right. Bad idea. A guy in the UK pulled over for driving a van without doors, windows, and license plates. Wooden stool was strapped to the van's roof, and a triangular slow-moving vehicle sign was tied across the back of the van where the license plate should have been. Ken.
That is me, right there. Yeah, it sounds like an Amish vehicle.
Yeah, I'd give my left 2 lug nuts, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you hadn't shown up your stupid little cardboard spaceship and taken away everything that was important to me.
Wreck? Shoot. I'm the world's best backwards driver.
All right, kid.
Well, wacky but true. A speed bump causes robber to lose some cash. In Brazil, a bank robber left behind a trail of banknotes after his getaway motorcycle hit a speed bump, causing his poorly secured bag to tear open. Police simply followed the money trail for a few miles straight to his front door, where they found him counting his remaining loot.
Whoa, speed bump!
Well, did you go over any speed bumps? Gravel? How about a bridge?
Bridge. Yeah.
Jeez, I'm an idiot.
I got my 2 hands up. I surrender. Come and lock me up here forever.
Definitely a theme of crimes going on here. Now we're off to Italy, where two thieves in Italy stole an ornate church bell, but were caught when they tried to sell it for scrap metal. They tried to sell it to a dealer who happened to be a devoted parishioner of the very church they had robbed the bell from.
Who would have thought that?
Ding, ding.
Where you been?
I've been gone because I had a lot of churchy opportunities lately.
You see, nothing brings friends together like bells.
Maybe the sound of this church bell will bring those poor people some comfort.
How about his prison record? 2 terms, 1 in Italy, 1 here.
Time for church.
Oops. All right, last story. It's all you, Ken.
Well, there we go. Another wacky but true Nigerian scammer leads police right to him. A Nigerian email scammer accidentally included his real bank account details instead of his designated business account in a phishing attempt, allowing authorities to trace the transactions directly to him. Investigators found he had been operating from an internet cafe, get this, just 2 blocks from the police station.
I only know him through the, You're not going to believe this.
Oh, let me guess. Through the internet?
Yes.
Well, it's called the internet, and it's completely revolutionized the way we live and access vital information. For example, have a look.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the internet is just another way of being rejected by a woman.
She did! She did it! She's the one you want! All right, I was just sitting at home watching cartoons, playing video games with my cousin, and she came in there.
Glenn,
all right?
you're free.
Hey, I am not going to jail for you or anybody else. I have done nothing bad my entire life. Okay, so what? I downloaded a couple of thousand songs off the internet. Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
Glenn, shut up!
No, you shut up! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me, criminal!
That's the way you deflect when you're in trouble. All right?
Exactly.
All right, coming up tomorrow on this very radio station, we bring in the ladies and Chuck. We've got Sharon, Paula, and Chuck. They're going to deliver everything that happens in Stevens County over the next few weeks. I join them tomorrow morning beginning at 7:25. Tonight on the radio, it's the one and only Dr. Jazz. Now, don't forget, every night at 6, we do different genres of music. Tonight at 6, we kick it off with jazz, and that's Tom for 3 hours. And then at 9, we bring you some Motown on the Soul Show. All happens right here on Northern Lights Public Radio. And I know it felt a little clunky, Ken, but you did great filling in for Val. Thank you so much.
Hey, well, thank you very much. Well, I will say one thing. I've got these rose-colored tinted windows in my kitchen area where I'm presently operating from, and I realized it makes me look red as a beet.
I thought maybe you just got a little too much sun.
Yeah, it's. I was trying to adjust the lighting here, and I realized, where is that red coming from? Well, it's 2-3 giant windows that are tinted that color to reflect the sun, but obviously they make everything in here look, well, kind of red.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Ken. Another round of applause. And as I head out, do not forget tomorrow. I think you have till Friday, and I could be wrong on that, but we'll be listening tomorrow with Chuck because I know we're in the final days of getting you all signed up for Chihuahua's Got Talent. So there is a deadline coming up, and those are for the tryouts before the show. Get all the details online. You can do it today at kchw.org. Other than that, we want you to have a great day and keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. Take care.
Coffee's brewed, the birds have sung. It's time to get off your butt and get something done. We're sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree, we should all keep working for free. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
Party on, guys.
Party on, Wayne.
All right.
We're sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree, we should all keep working for free. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
Maybe we ought to turn on the searchlights now.
No. It's just what they'll be expecting us to do.
It's quickly becoming the Northwest's premier blues radio show and the coolest new studio to come jam in. Doug McQuain's Dirt Road Blues